Today we're comparing two new larger tablets that have came out recently from Samsung and Lenovo to see which one is better. I'll leave links down below for everything covered in this video, so let's go ahead and get started. Pricing starts at $669 for the Yoga Tab Plus versus about $20 less for the Galaxy Tab S10 FE Plus. So they're definitely getting up there in price, but not quite up there with Samsung's flagship tablets. One advantage for Lenovo is you get 256 gigabytes of storage versus 128 on the base model for Samsung. There is a 256 gigabyte version for Samsung, but that's about $80 more. You can also use a micro SD card for Samsung to expand the storage, where you don't get that option with Lenovo. One advantage for Lenovo is that it comes with the keyboard case. Samsung is a little bit thinner at only about 6 millimeters, but it's about 24 grams heavier than Lenovo at 664 grams. You get a nice and large IPS LCD display for both of these tablets, 12.7 inch at 1840 by 2944 resolution for Lenovo versus a little larger 13.1 inch at 1800 by 2880 resolution for Samsung, up to 144 Hz refresh rate for the Yoga Tab Plus versus 90 Hz on Samsung. I think both of these look pretty good in person, but Lenovo seems to have a little better contrast, slightly better viewing angles. It almost looks like an OLED or AMOLED display. It's easily one of the best looking screens from Lenovo recently. You also have a fingerprint scanner right on the power button for both tablets. One advantage you get with Samsung is the battery life. I ran the same battery drain test at 100% screen brightness, and Samsung lasted about 7 hours versus only 5.5 for the Yoga Tab Plus. Keep in mind that's more of an extreme use test, so you should be able to double those times just by turning the screen brightness down. Both of these also have up to 45 watt fast charging. As far as software goes, Lenovo is on Android 14, Samsung's on Android 15, and you can see there's definitely some different styles and how they do things are a little bit different, but I do like things about both. You'll notice you can adjust the volume up in the control center for both of these. I also like the Tab Pen Pro that's included with the Yoga Tab Plus. It feels very similar to the new Apple Pencil Pro, probably one of the best pens from Lenovo recently, and then of course you have the S Pen included with Samsung. Regardless of which one you go with, it's just nice to have the ability to draw, take notes, or just move around the software. It may come down to personal preference on which one is better. I might give the slight edge to Samsung. You also have some nice options if you want to be a little more productive. You have PC mode on Lenovo, Samsung DeX on the S10 FE Plus. One advantage for Lenovo though is you have video out, where you can attach an HDMI adapter to connect to a projector, TV, or external monitor, where with Samsung you can only do that wirelessly. Now one big advantage with Samsung is you do get up to 7 years of software updates now, where you only get 3 years software, 4 years security with Lenovo. So there's definitely some differences to think about when it comes to the software. I'd probably give the advantage to Samsung, but you can't really go wrong with either one. Performance wise, you've got 8 gigabytes of RAM for the base model S10 FE Plus, 12 gigabytes for the 256 gigabyte version versus 16 gigabytes for Lenovo. You also get a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor in the Yoga Tab Plus versus Exynos 1580 for Samsung. When you look at the Geekbench scores, you can see just how much better Lenovo is at both single and multi-core scores. You can see it's quite a bit better in GPU performance as well, but either one are fine for playing games like PUBG Mobile and Asphalt Legends Unite. It can be harder to reach things on the larger screen sizes, but it's always nice to use a controller on larger tablets like these. If you want the tablet that's a little better at gaming, video editing, or if you just need a little more performance, you'll probably want to go with Lenovo. When it comes to speakers, you actually have 6 speakers on the Yoga Tab Plus versus only 2 on Samsung. So Lenovo's definitely going to be a little bit louder with a little better bass as well. But here's a quick sample of each just to see if you can tell the difference.
As you fade away, as you fade away. 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 As you
Now when it comes to cameras, got a 13 megapixel on the front for Lenovo, 12 megapixel on the front of Samsung. You do have a 13 megapixel on the back for both tablets, and then an extra 2 megapixel macro lens on the back of the Yoga Tab Plus. You can also shoot up to 4K resolution for video recording for both. I think both of these are good options for Zoom meetings or other video conference calls. And here's a few quick samples just to give you an idea of what to expect. So as you can see, there's definitely some differences between these two larger tablets. I think it depends on what you're looking for. I could see some people going with Lenovo because the better performance, a little better screen quality, and you get the keyboard case included. But it's also pretty tough to beat Samsung's 7 years of software updates, not to mention the S Pen. I know for me, it would be pretty tough to choose between these two. So it's probably going to come down to personal preference on most categories. If you like tablets, phones, and other tech, I've got a lot more comparisons that I'm working on, plus a lot more stuff as well. So you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.